Emperor Haile Selassie's contribution to African independence and the establishment of the Organization of African Unity has been celebrated in Addis Ababa in the presence of Thabo Mbeki, former South African president. A panel on the illustrious contributions of the emperor agreed to build a statue for Haile Selassie in cooperation with the government. Burukorko has the detail.
In a keynote address to the panel, former South African President Thabo Mbeki recognized Haile Selassie's immense role in Africa's independence struggle and in the establishment of the Organization of African Unity. Mr. Mbeki said it is a duty of this generation to laud the contributions of former African leaders that bring the continent where it's now. In that regard, he noted His Majesty Haile Selassie did a lot to African independence from colonialism and in realizing continental unity.
The Emperor and Minister Ketema Ifru intervened vigorously and in a sustained manner, succeeded to persuade the two blocs to attend the Inclusive All Africa 1963 Summit meeting, which gave birth to the OAU. The Emperor Haile Selassie put his neck on the block, so to speak, when he insisted that the summit meeting could not conclude without forming the OAU and adopting what became the charter of the OAU.
The event, attended by dignitaries and senior government officials, celebrated the illustrious deeds of the former emperor. His Majesty brought together the two sides that differed on African unity and make the union a reality with the resilient diplomatic efforts of his team. Another speaker, Salome Addis, reminded the conference that having no reminder for his sparkling contribution is the failure of this generation. She encouraged the generation to erect things that celebrate the contributions of former leaders and individuals.
If we fail to recognize the role of Emperor Haile Selassie played in bringing together African leaders who at the time had entrenched themselves into opposing camps and formed the OAU, would have failed to recognize Ethiopia's historic facilitation of African liberation and unity.
The panel agreed to erect a statue in cooperation with the government to illustrate the contributions of the king who did a lot to his continent during difficult time. The panel attracted ambassadors, ministers, other dignitaries and the families of the last emperor.